Good afternoon. Today I am going to make running water, where there isn't any, with a few simple things. So I got a 35-gallon Rubbermaid bucket, got a sump pump, divider, and a garden hose. What I'm trying to supply is a utility sink to put running water in a dry cabin. And we're going to run it through a hot water heater that I'll show you in a minute. It goes to a full-size faucet in a kitchen inside of a shipping container. So it's a completely improvised system designed by us for our use. It's very it does not have a high power demand. It can run and it has great pressure. 35 gallons is the full limit, which is about as much as a full-size hot water tank holds hot in the basement or crawl space of your house, wherever it's located. In our system, we have 35-gallon intake and a 4.5 or 5-gallon hot water heater. It is not on demand. It works off electricity. That's a positive and a negative. It takes a lot, but it's on demand. Once it stays hot, it will stay that way for a while. It's basically like an RV system design. So this is read the specs on the pump. This is a submersible utility pump. You see the horsepower. 1/6 horsepower. So it's 60 hertz, 3 amps. 1/6 horsepower. I have a divider that I screw on top of that, and a couple of other connectors that I'll show you as I go. So basically what I do is I take the submersible pump, it's submersible, I put it in the water well and put it to a switch. And I've done that in a lot of different applications. I've used it for a shower, I've used it for my greenhouses, I've used it for now this sink. So it's worked out pretty well, and I can do it with a small battery bank and a small inverter. Most of these don't pull more than 750 amps or 750 watts. So they'll be fine on a small inverter. So I'm gonna get to it. All right, so once you get or whatever you're going to use, you put the pump in it. I just put the pump in it like this. Again, this is a 35-gallon garbage can. We bought it new. Drill a hole in it about right here for this, big enough for this to go through. This is a submersible pump, so so it's a nice little platform. It's real hard bottom. Bring in the indoor plumbing, which in this case happens to be a hose. So say you want to, take care of some fish, and you fish, and you want an outdoor sink or something like that, because you don't want to clean them inside. It creates a mess and it stinks. You would want to use something like this. I mean, with a battery pack and an inverter, a garbage can, and a submersible pump, and a cheap little faucet on a utility sink, you can make an outdoor sink just about anywhere. Pool area. You make an outdoor shower wherever you want. Camp. I made one with a chainsaw real quick. In the summer months in Alaska, it's very useful. You just run those two things in real quick, and the other end goes to the hot water heater that's underneath of the sink. We'll pick up there. I'll show you the plumbing and what we have set up right now. So. Two more parts I'd like to mention are very useful in these kind of things that I like to keep on hand. One would be a divider that just screws right onto the top of the pump, but then you run into same side connections. And a problem, you can't do that, right? Those two threaded pieces won't go together. Well, they make a piece right here that you show that goes on there to be able to reverse that. You just screw it on one side, other side here. Whichever side is on there. And then back to the pump with this part. So that's what it looks like plumbed in. Just put that on there in case I want to run another water tap off of that, or I have another need for water of some sort. I can use it and divert it here and here. One is on, one is off. It doesn't cause any loss of pressure or anything like that. So this is the hot water heater that it goes to. So this is a 5 gallon or 4.5 gallon. That's the utility tub right above it, sitting in between two cabinets. So the hose plumbs right to it here. There's a TPV valve, and we put a single to dual feed intake so that we had the option of hot and cold water and being able to adjust it. And it just runs up to that. The plumbing comes down and goes out the wall right there. And if you review our other video on how to deal with the waste that comes out of your sink, it would be the improvised grease trap to go along with that. It'd be the complete system. Alrighty guys, we got running water. Pretty good volume. And that's run by solar. Alright, so what we have it plugged into, and I want to tell you how many watts it pulls. It pulls 297 watts. That's how many watts that pump pulls. It's plugged into 1,000 watt ever start. It goes up to a Rover. And right now, let's see if I can zoom into that for you. Probably not. So we're pulling in 190 watts, and this is what we have here going to it. Okay, so it's a 6-volt system. You see how we have it wired. Goes right up to the panel and up. So that's what powers our pump and our lights and everything else. It's a pretty simple system. There's the